You know, how we ended up on this, the path to innovation is often circuitous. And in this case, it is as well. About 2 years ago, I got a call from a gentleman that I worked with in Cincinnati. And he said, hey, Werner, he says, I'm with a new company. We're a startup. We're working on this social media software. And hey, we're doing it in St. Augustine. We're real close to you. Can we come down and show it to you? I said, well, we're still trying to figure out social media, but yeah, come on down. So we met with them, and they showed us this idea, and we said, that's really great. We're still waiting for our first Facebook post. But we want to learn something, and we want to know what's going on, and there's a friend, so I said, all right, we'll sign up, and we'll help you to develop this. So about the third meeting, I'm sitting there, and I'm feeling kind of bad because they're trying to develop this software, and we just don't have any social media traffic coming in to really test this thing. And I'm sitting there and I start to remember 2004 and 2005. And all of a sudden I said, you know, people will start to care after there's a hurricane. And I said, said to the group, I said, this may have a real application because what are we going to do if we have a big spike in social media contacts after a disaster? Because the numbers are that large. And I remember the urgency with which people respond and they want to get to you, they want to know that they have coverage, they want to get their policy, their claim number, their adjuster number, and find out when someone's going to be out. And they will be relentless until they have that, and they will choose every path. If they choose social media, we have a problem. And it's not just the problem of the number, it's the problem of customer expectations. I mean, what I could envision is somebody, the power's out, the house is damaged, take out the phone and say, I think I got Security First Insurance, Google that, they have a Facebook page, boom, right? You know, I'm Joe Smith, my house is destroyed, help me. And then what they do? They're waiting for the reply, right? And if we have a whole bunch of these, how are we going to respond? How are we going to meet those expectations? So we actually decided, and the company we were working with at the time decided that they would develop this application initially specifically for insurance companies to deal with disaster. And I also asked, I said, can you put email into that too so that we're actually bringing all of our external communications on the web into one place and we can manage that because email is just as important to us as the social media. And they said yes, and they went away to work on it. About 3 months later, Locke looked over at me and said, where are we with that project? And I went, good question. Called him up, and he said, oh, I'm glad you called me. He says, I couldn't call you because of legal reasons. I'm with another company now, and the company that I was with has been bought out. Oh, great. I said, well, who bought them, and are they doing this? He says, there's a company called Integrity in the UK. So we contacted them, and we said, where are you with this? And they said, well, we didn't actually buy this company for that application. We know about it. It's over here. We're working on this. We'll think about it, and then we'll get back to you. Well, we'd already identified a problem. We couldn't find a solution anywhere else, and now we had a problem. So Locke and I went to the UK. If Muhammad doesn't come to the mountain, you've got to go to the mountain or whatever. So we went to the UK, and we visited with Integrity, their chief operating officer, and we said, look, you got something that's really important here. It's the only solution we know for a problem that we want to solve, and we need to solve. We want you to do this. And they said, we'll think about it. We'll get back to you in 6 weeks. In 6 weeks, they did get back to us and said, yes, we want to work on going forward. So last year, we started working on the development with them, further development of what has become SMC4. So the way it works is, is that we've got these messages. So somebody posts to Facebook, and immediately the software picks it up and brings it in. Now, the first thing the software does is it has something called IBM Content Analytics. And this is the software that actually reads it and thinks about what the message is. And the first question it's going to ask is, this message, does it have profanity or is it objectionable in any way? If it is, it's going to do one of two things. It's either going to delete it from Facebook or it's going to hide it and we'll still have it captured in our database. Okay, if it makes it, and that's an important thing too because many times your public pages can be trampled on by people that don't have your best interest at heart. So once it makes it through that, then it reads it again, and it's got two questions. how urgent, what's the degree of urgency of the message, and who is best to respond to it. We set up users, and users have competencies. So if it's a message and it says this is a claims message, it really needs to go to someone that can handle claims, then there are 3 people that have a claims competency. It goes into a queue, and only those 3 people in claims can see it. They pull it out of the queue and they work on it. So it's getting a sense of urgency and priority, and it's going to the right place. Now the people working on it can respond back. They can research it, and then they respond back. Now when they respond back, they may or may not have full authority. So if they don't have full authority and they respond back, because we anticipate having a lot of people potentially working on replies, but not necessarily trained to post to a public Facebook under our company name. So we'll have some people that'll work. When they hit the reply button, it'll go into a queue, which a supervisor could look at, double check, and release. No matter who releases it back, it will go back through the content analytics. The content analytics will again look at it for profanity and objectionable material. We don't want it coming in, we don't want it going out. And it'll also look at it to see if there's anything from a business standpoint, because we have business rules in there. Did we say something that we might not want to say, for instance, guaranteed? So it'll check for that. It won't let it go if it doesn't pass. If it does pass, what happens is the person has put a post on our Facebook, and what they see back is another post. Or we can also directly message them. Our objective in this process is to get them off of the social media as quickly, to respond to them within the time frame that they expect, and then to get them off of the social media and into our regular processing channels, whether it's claims, whether it's billing, underwriting, customer service, as quickly as possible. The other thing that's important about this is that through this process, in addition to the control over the quality and the timeliness of the response, we are capturing the entire conversation. That's important. First of all, we capture the conversation. Even if somebody deletes the Facebook post, we still have it. It's captured in a special IBM database that's legally admissible in court, that we can prove that we couldn't have changed it. This is the way it was, and so it's captured that way. It's captured for compliance, because if it becomes part of ultimately a claim file, we have to keep that for 7 years. And it keeps us in compliance with our internal processes. Additionally, while this is happening, we can monitor the conversations, because anybody that has access can go to a panel and you can see what are people saying, what are we doing, and how are we doing it. So we can change what we're doing in response to the types of conversations we're having. And additionally, after an event, all that is captured, we can take analytical tools, we can go back through it and see how well did we do, where could we improve, what did we learn. And ultimately, because it's an open architecture, we'll be able to move those conversations immediately into our claim file, so when our adjusters pull them up, they can see the conversations that have taken place. So we're able to capture the information, we're able to control the process, we're able to have quick, fast communication, reliable communications with our customers, and we're able to be in compliance all at the same time. Our objective is to have customers that after the storm say, you know, I'm sure glad that I chose Security First as my insurance company. That's our objective, and we want to fulfill this commitment to be there for them storm after storm, year after year. SMC4 will help us to meet that commitment.